Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of I think it's the 15th/16th, or 16th/17th Dalek, History of the Daleks set, I think. Could be wrong about that, but what was I going to say? I like this one. It's the first one they've done of the new series for the History of the Daleks sets. I think, much like with Planet of the Daleks, though, they will be going back to Remembrance, probably, of the Daleks, as there's a lot of Daleks variants they could do. Much like with the Time Lord, or 3-pack action figure set that I reviewed today, 12th of November 2023. I have another figure to sort of compare them with, which is the old Dalek design, the big sort of chunky monkey one. This is the new one, of course, and yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot more streamlined. You've got sort of more of a sort of gunmetal-y grey base, whereas this is just sort of this sort of minty green sort of base. Very odd to me. You've also got like the actual plungers. No, the actual ball joints on this one are actually painted silver, and by silver I meant to say bronze. Likewise with the eye stalk piece ridges, which I don't know if I can actually get where I'm trying to go here. Like on the inside bit there is silver, and by silver again I meant to say bronze. Standard articulation for a Dalek, you know, the Dalek dome moves full 360, the eye stalk goes up and it goes down, and that, I think I like this set because it could just be an easy army build, I guess, sort of set if you really need lots of Daleks, which I obviously do, because I'm insane. But yeah, I mean, I think for what they were back in the day, this is okay-ish. They had to start somewhere, I guess, but I much prefer the newer ones because both the gun stick and the plunger, or in this case the claw, are a lot thinner. Although I guess because of that, the only worry there is that these bits can snap off easier, I think. But I guess the trade-off is because these are more like aimed at collectors now, and they're aimed more at collectors, so, you know, ideally that's going to be not happening as much because these aren't going to be played with as much in the traditional sense of the word. So whereas I guess back in the day when the toy line started, it was a toy line, you know, with these chunkier ones, and then yeah, so it's got that sort of rustic, sort of gunmetal grey. Again, don't know why I keep saying gunmetal grey. Gunmetal, or sort of bronze Dalek design, which is just iconic at this point. I mean, I am getting a little bit sick of them in the show, so fortunately I think those rumours hopefully are true, that Russell is just sort of saying no to the Daleks for a bit in the context of the show. But as for a toy design, I think it's pretty goddamn amazing. And then you've got Dalek Sec, which again, I think I might have him, but again, he's much like with the Dalek Claw one. He's a chunky boy, he's the original chunkier design. Whereas this sort of newer design version of Sec, Dalek Sec, was, for the longest time, if I'm not mistaken, exclusive to America and or the States, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's got this sort of very glossy dome, and then he's sort of like he's more of a matte black around the bins, or around the rings even. Yeah, very, very odd. He's quite light one as well. And then he does the same sort of articulation, you know, the plunger goes up, it goes down, it goes side to side, the gun stick goes up and down. He's on 3 wheels, so, you know, the usual sort of spinny boy action there. What else? Yeah, I do like this set. It's As well, you've got nice little silver bits on the midsection. You know, like, I assume that's accurate to the original prop. And then yeah, you've got sort of more of a glossy spheres, but then sort of a matte black sort of a bottom section, I guess. And yeah, I think this one's a good set. It's cool to finally see some new Daleks in the History of the Daleks sets. Yeah, I'm interested though why they've kind of skipped Series 1, although I guess there's not much they could do. I mean, they could do a new version of this guy, which I would have really liked, because he was rare then, and he's probably even more rare now. I don't know if they ever did do a updated version of that Dalek with the claw, and if they did, I think it was only ever in 3.5 or 3.75 inch figure range, which was a range that I just didn't care for. Oh, I did at the time, I sort of collected it, but then in retrospect I wish I just didn't. I have a few of those figures, but not many these days, because I just prefer the sort of 5-inch action figure scale, I guess, and or slightly taller, I guess, although it's a bit annoying that like the Doctor Who figures are 5-inch action figures, or 5.5-inch action figures, and then everything else is either 6 to 7-inch action figures, whether it be Black Series or Marvel Select. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good, decent set. I think if you have not obviously got any Daleks in your collection, this is a great first purchase. And as I say, even if you have got a few Daleks dotted around the house for whatever reason, this would be a great addition, or army builder, if you will, because you get a drone, essentially, and a Dalek Sec, who's not a Supreme, but he's sort of the head of Cult of Skaro Daleks, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess, thinking about it logically, they could only do the Dalek Tron / Dalek, or the Dalek, whatever they call the Dalek in Dalek, Metaltron. They could do that, but that would be really expensive, because that would be, you know, really battered and weathered and uniquely new sculpts, new paints, sort of one, so that would be a no-no. And then I guess from Parting of the Ways, Bad Wolf Parting of the Ways, there is no other real unique Daleks other than maybe packing this one with the one with the claw, and then that's it. But then you'd kind of feel like, oh, well, I've just got 2 drones. So I think that's why they went straight for Series 2, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess they've had humanoid-like characters in the 2-packs before, so, you know, with Richard Hurndall in the previous half, or the first half of this wave, from the 5 Doctors, so maybe in future we might get a Dalek that's like this, but with some panels missing. That's Dalek Khan, and then maybe a humanoid Dalek Sec, maybe. Because I guess Dalek Sec is, I wouldn't say he's rare, but I mean, I guess he's a figure that maybe newer collectors don't have. Although I guess you could always just go on eBay and buy him loose for like £8, if that, maybe even £5 or £6 loose. Pay, I don't know, £2 or £3 P&P off eBay, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could do that for Series 3. For Series 4, they could do the Supreme Dalek, of course. Re-release the Supreme Dalek from that 2-parter. As well as then have, like, the Dalek with, like, weird sort of spinny claw thing in that, which didn't do anything really, which I always thought was a bit odd. But yeah, that's it then for me. Stay tuned for the next review, or Dalek 2-pack review, very soon. Thanks for watching. Please do rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel.